Hello guys, welcome to this new video. Today I wanted to talk about why were Koreans so popular in the Red Bull qualifier ladder. So like we saw almost only Korean. It was Korean against Korean, Korean against Korean. I can show you like a good example. SCCM playing Koreans 37 times out of 100, and at the end it was only Korean. Like you can see Korean, 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 making it second place. I can see Leary probably a Korean. Look, only Korean in this page. That's a good example. I mean, most players played only Koreans because it was simply the strongest seed, right? And you wanted to win when you played this qualifier, which makes sense, right? And picking Korean was the right way. So why is it so strong when it's not that strong in RM? Like in a random map, we don't see Korean so often in drafts. It's not something that players play so much. We usually see like Chinese, this kind of thing. So what's the difference in Empire War? Well, Empire War, you start in Feudal Age. And there are some thieves. Let's check. For example, you check Malay. Malay bonus, you go up to the next edge 66% faster. So you get a bonus on the way to Feudal Age, right? So there are some thieves that get like early extra villagers, thieves that start with more food. Anyway, a lot of bonuses. And there are some thieves that get more long-term bonus. So they have nothing early on, they are pretty weak early on, but they get a long-term bonus. And Korean is one of them. So stone miners work 20% faster. You don't benefit Dark Age. Ranged soldiers and infantry cost minus 50% wood. You don't benefit in Dark Age. Archer armor on a tower upgrade, you don't benefit. And warship costs minus 20% wood. Same, you don't benefit in Dark Age. So all the bonuses are long-term bonuses, so bonuses that you can use in Empire War. Usually those bonuses are stronger than the early bonuses, like receiving 100 food, long-term, right? But let's say the 100 extra food from Lithuanian, for example, will give you the advantage early on, will force more reaction from the opponent, and it's snowball. Then you get to Castle Age faster, you get TCs faster, and in the end you get a bigger bonuses, bigger bonus. Sorry, just because of this 100 food, it will become like maybe 5 extra villager in Castle Age. It snowballs. So yeah, Korean get bonuses long term, but it's also a lot about the units. Because Empire War is a lot about unit choices, and I will show you what we have right now. So Scum opening, very strong with Korea. What is it weaker against in RM? It's weaker against Manatam opening. You don't really see Manatam opening in Empire War because Manatam is something that you do on the way, like you produce the militias on the way to feudal, so you can attack before the opponent gets a range, for example. But in Empire War, both players start at the same timing, and you can make a range right away. So you will have units to answer the mana taps. So Scums, very strong in that case, very, very strong. Also more line of sight for the villager, that's a bonus here, which is nice in Empire War because you don't see much of your base, you don't know how to wall and stuff like this. So yeah, it's a bit of bonus that like makes the start a bit more comfortable. Empire War, the maps have a lot of stone. A lot of stone. I mean, even gold, like the maps have too much res. Let me see if I can see, for example, well, I have one right here, Alpine. So it's a lot of res overall. Like gold, starting gold, then we have extra stone, then we have extra stone, then we have more stone here. More gold on the side, more stone, more gold. You see, it's a lot of res. There's some maps like for example, the most obvious one is this one, which has way too much resource, by the way. Like there's stone and gold all over the map like this. So Koreans are so strong because Koreans, you want to make towers, right? And you can even buy stone with the extra gold you get on the map. So you're not out of gold on this map. So yeah, you can control a lot of areas like this. Usually the bases also in Empire are pretty messy because you start like this. This is not how you would wall normally. Here we are pretty lucky. Let's say we are pretty lucky. But yeah, like for example, here we have a random house. This we can't really use it to wall. You know, like, so the base is a bit messy. The wall is not perfect. And making defensive towers is more common than in RM. In RM, you have a good wall. You just re-wall behind. You take care of eco. Here you're making one tower that becomes a guard tower with Korean. Very strong. Very, very strong. So one more argument that Koreans are very good. And the argument everyone is waiting for, the fire lances. Fire lancer is very strong unit. Very, very strong unit. So first, in Empire, we open a range unit more than in RM. Even more. It's a lot about opening with the range and walling your base. And because you also have a mining camp on gold, like it's a you're playing random map, you want to go archers, you need to invest in that. So that's a bit of a like delay compared to someone opening scouts, for example. Here we already have it. So yeah, can open range. Then skirms are strong, but this unit is also very strong against skirms. So basically, it's like a mix of a champion and a spear. So it counters cav, but it also counters skirms. So only archer units are very strong. But Koreans are very strong against archer units. They have cheap skirms and the free armor. Very, very strong. Rocket cards are also very strong. Towers are also very strong against archers. So you're thinking, yeah, cav deals with everything, but except fire lancers, basically. And fire lancers are cheaper with Korean, which make them easy to spam. Also, Empire War very messy, Eco very messy. But even with a messy eco, you can produce fire lancers because they don't cost food. It allows you to go imp even, click elite upgrade, which is not that expensive. Very cheap actually. And yeah, just spam a very strong unit with a low eco. Because to explain you people, making food unit requires to make farms, so making a food unit also costs wood. It costs wood, gold, and food. Because yeah, it's farms are like quite expensive, 60 wood per farm. So yeah, this unit is the key. The siege tower got banned during the qualifier, which was boosting even more this unit because it's kind of bugged. I'm not gonna explain the whole bug, but basically infantry is overall very strong with siege towers. So yeah, this with towers is very strong, very, very strong. It's just like you slowly take control of the map, and this unit can also destroy a building, can kill other units, and it's just annoying to play against. And to fight it, I feel like it's the first time, at least for me, the first time I know my opponent will go for a strategy, but I cannot find a way to counter it. It's like, you know the opponent is going for it. You could think, oh, I will do this, so I will counter it. But this time there was no solution. The only solution was to pick Korean yourself and do the same. So it means it's way too strong, right? So it's a mix of everything I explained, but also like Korean is not balanced for Empire War because like I explained earlier, let's say you get Slavs, the early farms will give you a bonus, and then you get a bit of an advantage over your opponent, and then you get the map control because of it. The game is different, but here there's no such thing because we start pretty late into the game already. And so it's mostly about the units. So yeah, cheap units are very strong in Empire War. Very, very strong. And yeah, they also get bombard cannon. Like the tree is so good. And there are some hybrid maps where Empire War you mostly focus on land because in RM, random map, you would have fishing ship you have to defend. Here you have to make the fish in the feudal age, so that's pretty late, like when the eco is already very strong. So you don't invest that much into the water, and when you don't invest that much into the water, you don't have that many boats from the feudal age, right? It's mostly land. So then the turtle ship becomes so strong, you don't even have to upgrade a boat. So again, something that makes this unit very, very strong. Yeah, of course, in terms of units, War Wagon also very strong. Bombard Cannon, like I was talking about, super strong. Not the best cav, but this is basically replacing cavs. And yeah, that Civ is just like a better version of Byzantine. We had a lot of Byzantine in the previous Redbull qualifier, but this is even stronger than Byzantine. And this unit just added a lot of strength. Basically, it solves all the issue from the Koreans. Like they have issues against skirms normally, like skirm thieves that have better eco because they get a lot of skirms, map control, and you don't have units to counter it. But since this unit was released, this is a good counter to skirms. Like how do you fix it? Like nerfing the unit overall, maybe removing Gambesin from Koreans. But then champions become too weak, so maybe not. Maybe just removing Gambesin to the unit overall. Like Gambesin shouldn't affect Fire Lancers. It could be a solution. But it's also kill the Cav with low eco, which is good when your Sieve has no eco bonus, right? So like a very strong strat, for example, with this Sieve is you just open skirms or like open range units, archers, depending on what your opponent is making. You get to Castle Edge, you have TCs. Your opponent cannot really push you because you have like cheap, you have guard power all from the start, so you can just make one tower and shut down all the push. And then when you have like 20 farms, enough to produce villages on your 3 TCs, get some upgrades, stuff like this, you can check the number 20, something like that. You stop spending the wood on farms. You just start spending more wood on barracks and more to gold at this point. Put the early point of your TCs on gold, for example, or just switch some villages and just spam Fire Lancers and then go forward with towers, siege, Fire Lancer, basically. It's very easy to execute, honestly. That's why it's also very popular, because it's easy to not die. It's probably the best defensive sieve right now, Koreans, just because of guard tower and also this unit dealing with anything, even with low eco. Like myself, I ended up a lot in a situation playing Cav Archers with Korean on a map. Like it's an all-in map. And then you can just, because the opponent was going all-in Step Lancer, I would just add some Fire Lancers just to tank the damage in front. It's cheap. It costs wood and gold. You don't need to upgrade it. You just make them on one barrack, basically. So it just doesn't matter you play, doesn't matter the strategy and the play, you can make them, basically. And it's going to be worth it most of the time. And now, just my opinion on Korean Mirror. It's, in my opinion, the most boring matchup we ever had. Like mirror matchup we ever had. Just because of guard tower. Guard tower makes any push useless. And any push useless means you have to play more defensive, and then it's more like late game. And this late game is very slow. It's like you have to move like step by step, making a tower, then another tower, then another tower. And to push the opponent's towers, you have to make traps and slowly push them, like just very slowly with traps. Traps are so slow to push towers because you have to pack and pack for each tower. It's way slower to push towers than to push a castle. A castle, you unpack your traps, they're gonna destroy 650 stone. Here you have to unpack for each tower. It's very, very slow. So yeah, that's for me against the spirit of Empire War. Empire War is more like feudal action, open maps. And honestly, this is not what we got. Maybe not because of the map, just because one sieve is super dominant and you can't really kill in feudal in scum versus scum fight, right? Korean versus Korean. Well, I think I covered everything. Feel free if you have questions, you can ask in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys, and bye bye. See you soon.